Og was bored. Every single day felt the same. His tribe dragged heavy logs everywhere, grunting and sweating. One day, Og saw a round stone roll down a hill by itself. His eyes went wide. He chased the stone, amazed. He picked it up and turned it over and over in his hands. He rolled it on flat ground and grinned like a child. His tribe mates gathered around, pointing and laughing at him. The elder shook his head, calling it a waste of time. Og ignored them and kept rolling his stone, undeterred. That night, Og lay awake, thinking only about the stone. In his dream, a giant round thing carried him swiftly. He woke up suddenly, a spark burning in his eyes. He grabbed a heavy log and tried pushing it alone. The log was slightly round. An idea began to form. Og searched the forest for the roundest log he could find. He found a thick, round stump and tapped it eagerly. He dragged the heavy stump all the way back to his cave. Under the moonlight, Og sat and studied his discovery. He picked up a sharp stone and began carving carefully. Wood chips flew as the stump slowly became rounder. Finally, Og held up a smooth, round wooden disc. He rolled it across the ground, laughing as he chased it. He tried standing on it, wobbling wildly, almost falling. He tumbled off and landed flat in the dirt, dazed. The whole tribe burst into laughter at the sight. Og stood up, brushed off the dirt, and refused to quit. He carved a second matching disc right beside the first. He lined up both round discs neatly on the ground. He found a straight, sturdy branch to join them together. Carefully, he pushed the branch through both wooden centers. Amazed, he spun them and watched them turn as one. Og clapped with pure joy at his strange new invention. He grunted a brand new word for his creation, a wheel. His friend Grok wandered over, curious about the noise. Grok poked it with a stick, thoroughly confused. Og proudly rolled it across the flat ground for him. Grok's eyes widened as the wheels rolled smoothly by. The two friends slapped hands, thrilled by the discovery. Og scratched rough shapes in the dirt, planning something bigger. He looked to the sky, imagining an even bigger machine. Og gathered sturdy flat planks from fallen trees nearby. He arranged the planks into a flat wooden platform. He tied the planks together tightly using thin jungle vines. Next, he carved 2 more wheels for a second axle. He attached 4 wheels total beneath the wooden platform. He struggled to fit the axles properly underneath the frame. He hammered a wooden peg into place with a heavy stone. Grok held the frame steady, while Og secured the wheels. Sweat dripped down his face through the long hot day. The sun set, but the two kept working by firelight. Og stepped back, admiring his half-built wooden cart. He added a simple wooden seat on top of the cart. He carved a long wooden pole to use for steering. He attached the pole carefully to the front wheels. He tested the pole, pushing it gently side to side. The front wheels turned smoothly left and right. Og jumped with joy, realizing his cart could turn. Grok patted his back, truly impressed by the invention. Word spread fast through the tribe about the strange machine. Curious cavemen began gathering to see it for themselves. The tribe circled the finished cart, murmuring in wonder. An old skeptic crossed his arms, doubting the strange machine. The elder warned that rolling machines were dangerous nonsense. Og ignored him, patting his cart with quiet pride. He pushed the empty cart forward to test its roll. The cart rolled a short distance, then stopped on its own. The tribe gasped in amazement at the effortless turning wheels. A small child clapped, eager to touch the spinning wheels. Og loaded a heavy rock onto it to test the strength. The sturdy cart held the heavy rock without breaking. Og beamed with pride as the tribe applauded loudly. Og looked toward a nearby hill. Dreaming of a real ride, Og told Grok he wanted to ride down that very hill. Grok looked worried and shook his head at the risky plan. Og insisted confidently, tapping his chest with determination. Og dragged the heavy cart up the steep hill alone. Curious cavemen followed him quietly up the hill. At the top, Og carefully positioned the cart, ready. He looked down the long slope, a rush of nerves hitting him. Og took a deep breath and gripped the pole tightly. The whole tribe gathered below, eager to watch him. Grok shouted warnings from below, waving his arms nervously. Og waved back confidently, flashing a bold, determined grin. Carefully, Og climbed onto the wooden seat of his cart. He wrapped a vine strap around his waist, a rough seatbelt. He planted both feet firmly onto the wooden platform. He tightened his grip on the steering pole with both hands. A gust of wind blew across the hilltop as he paused. Og closed his eyes for a moment, gathering all his courage. He opened his eyes wide, finally ready to push off. His heart pounded hard as he leaned forward on the cart. Below, the tribe chanted and cheered, urging him onward. Og raised one fist triumphantly before starting his ride. He pushed off with his feet, and the cart began to move. The wooden wheels started rolling slowly down the gentle slope. Og's face lit up with delight as the cart gained speed. Wind rushed past his face as the cart sped up further. Og let out a loud, joyful shout of pure excitement. The tribe below cheered wildly, jumping up and down. Grok ran alongside, struggling to keep pace with the cart. The cart picked up even more speed on the steep slope. Og's spiky hair flew backward wildly in the rushing wind. He gripped the pole tighter as the cart began to shake. Small pebbles flew up from beneath the fast-spinning wheels. Og laughed loudly, thrilled by the incredible rush of speed. The path ahead curved sharply near a cluster of large rocks. Og noticed the sharp curve, and his smile faded slightly. He yanked the steering pole, trying to turn in time. The front wheels wobbled dangerously as he forced the turn. The cart tilted sharply to one side around the curve. Og's eyes widened with fear as the cart shook violently. The tribe below gasped, sensing danger just ahead. Grok shouted a desperate warning, pointing at the rocks ahead. Og yanked hard on the pole, trying to dodge the rocks. One wheel struck a loose stone and bounced off the ground. The cart lurched sideways, throwing Og badly off balance. Og clung desperately to the wooden seat with both hands. The out-of-control cart sped straight toward the large rocks. Og let out a loud warning cry as impact drew near. Time seemed to slow as the cart raced toward disaster. The wooden cart smashed hard into the cluster of rocks. Wood splinters flew everywhere as the front of the cart shattered. Og was thrown forward off the cart, flying through the air. Og tumbled across the dusty ground, rolling several times. The broken cart flipped over and skidded to a stop. Dust and debris settled slowly around the silent crash site. Og lay motionless on the ground for one tense moment. The tribe froze in stunned silence, staring at the wreckage. Grok sprinted toward him, shouting his name in panic. Slowly, Og opened his eyes and groaned in pain. Og sat up holding his bruised arm, wincing sharply. Grok knelt beside him, checking him over worriedly. The whole tribe rushed down the hill toward the scene. The elder examined the wrecked cart, shaking his head slowly. Og looked at his shattered cart with a heavy, sad face. A child pointed at the wreckage, whispering to a friend. Grok helped Og to his feet, supporting his injured arm. The tribe murmured, some blaming the cart, some blaming Og. Og limped slowly back toward the cave. His head hung low. The one surviving wheel rolled away alone across the dirt. Inside the cave, Og sat quietly, staring at the fire. Grok brought leaves and gently wrapped his injured arm. The elder entered the cave and sat across from Og. The elder spoke sternly about the dangers of recklessness. Og lowered his head, feeling ashamed of the accident. Grok defended him, insisting the invention itself was brilliant. The elder paused, considering Grok's words thoughtfully. Og looked up, a small spark of hope returning. Og limped outside to look at the broken cart once more. He picked up a broken wheel, examining the crack closely. Og realized the wheel had simply been carved too thin. He began sketching a new, stronger wheel design in the dirt. Grok watched curiously as Og's excitement slowly returned. Og decided the steering pole also needed a redesign. Night fell as Og kept sketching new ideas by firelight. Og fell asleep beside his sketches, exhausted but hopeful. The next morning, Og woke with renewed determination. He gathered thicker, stronger branches for a new cart. Grok arrived to help, carrying tools and fresh vines. Together, the two friends began building a safer cart. This time, Og carved thicker wheels for extra strength. He added wooden rails along the sides for safety. He tied multiple vine straps to secure the rider firmly. He tested the new wheels by rolling them over rocks. This time, the wheels rolled smoothly, without cracking. Og smiled with satisfaction at the sturdier construction. He attached a longer, more stable steering pole up front. This time, he practiced steering slowly on flat ground first. Grok watched approvingly as Og moved more carefully now. Og chose a smaller, gentler hill for his next test. He wore extra padding made from thick, folded animal hides. The tribe gathered again, curious rather than doubtful now. Og climbed onto the new cart slowly and carefully. He checked the vine straps twice before starting the ride. He pushed off gently, rolling down the smaller, safer slope. The cart moved smoothly and steadily down the gentle hill. Og steered carefully around a small rock. No trouble at all. The cart reached the bottom safely and slowed to a stop. Og raised both arms in victory as the tribe cheered. Grok ran over and hugged him, celebrating the success. The tribe gathered around the safe cart, filled with awe. The elder finally smiled and nodded with approval. The elder told Og his mistakes had taught him well. Og proudly showed the tribe how the wheels turned safely. Other cavemen asked Og to teach them his invention. Og happily agreed, gathering tools to begin teaching. Several cavemen began carving their own wooden wheels together. the camp filled with the sound of carving and laughter. Soon, many small carts appeared outside caves across camp. Children played happily, rolling small toy wheels in the dirt. Og watched proudly as his invention spread through the tribe. Grok stood beside him, both smiling at what they'd built. The tribe used sturdy carts to carry heavy food and wood. Daily work became easier and faster thanks to the carts. The elder admitted the invention truly helped the whole tribe. Og carved a small wheel symbol onto a stone marker. That night, the tribe celebrated around a bonfire together. Og sat back, looked at his healed arm, and smiled. Og told the young ones that every accident taught him something. And so, Og rode on, wiser, braver, and never afraid to try again.